Alright. So we're supposed to apparently play this in full screen? We'll full screen. Hi, my name is Taro Omiya, also known as Omiya Games. You'll find me on Twitter at Omiya Games, and you can also find my website at omiyagames.com. I'm gonna play Moneta's Vigil by Dreamlogician. Controls are arrow keys and spacebar. Created by Dreamlogician, Space Chase, and Brightstar. Arrow keys. Okay, now it started working. So, yes, this is exactly the same Space Chase that worked with us on Artifact of the Ancients. There are a lot of crickets. I'm suddenly getting the same urge that I do with like Mr. Burns, where I want to push that button that kills all the crickets. I am doing the moonwalking. That's always good. I am climbing up the mountain. Here I come. I am climbing up the mountain. Here I come. Interesting. So the closer to you are to the ground, the louder the noise. And I'm picking up wood. So when Dreamlogician, when I was eavesdropping on what Dreamlogician said in regards to describing what this game is about, Moneta's Vigil is apparently a Native American story, a fairly recent one too, about I don't quite remember, but a person who has died, and presumably Moneta in this case.
Her son was kidnapped, I believe, was the story. Her son was kidnapped. She had two sons, right? I'm trying to remember.
I think so, yeah.
Two sons. One of them was kidnapped. One of them went to go look for his brother, basically.
How long has it been since you left? Sorry, I wanted to put that in there. One of them was kidnapped, and one of them was what?
One of them went looking for him, but they were disappeared. And she had to. And then her husband died.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm remembering this correctly, and she took over because there was no heir, basically, because the two sons were missing.
Mm-hmm.
And her vigil is every night she goes up and lights a fire on a high hill, and cries, and her tears go into the mountain. Yeah.
Her tears becomes diamonds, although when discussing with Jamie, he's like, yeah, they probably weren't actually diamonds, and I'm like, were there quartz? Because those are super common, and they're shiny, and I remember as
quartz. It's a quartz. There's a lot of quartz in the hill. It's someplace close. I'll have to ask Jamie to specify the location.
Not to say like quartz are bad, they're freaking useful because they're hard as heck. Apologies for the swearing, but yeah, they are like really, really hard. Diamonds are of course the hardest of the hardest gems, but quartz is not that bad at, I believe, 7 to 7.5 hardness level.
Yeah, that's what
And they're perfectly useful and competent for a lot of things.
Yep.
They're just not as shiny.
Yeah, diamonds are shinier.
Mm-hmm. Diamonds has rainbow colors. Quartz
I should have to cut them to get them to look like that.
It's interesting how like moving downwards is faster and yet moving upwards is slower. And of course, by zooming it out even further, it makes it even like harder for me to, you know, it feels even slower as a consequence. Alright, I'm done. Pulling the wood up there was just good enough. Thanks, Jamie. Nice knowing ya. I could just leave this all behind. Oh, hey, more wood. No, crickets. My mortal enemy. So I'm assuming that in theory, this is a game about the struggle of facing your past, maybe, question mark. I'm just gonna say it's a struggle of climbing a mountain. That seems very literal enough, and at least it makes no assumption. I mean, mountains have not been easy to climb. Look at it, I'm already getting GURP flashbacks. Struggle, struggle, struggle. Oh, I put more wood on there. Are you even still alive? I have to say, like, the tragedy of having lost 2 sons and your husband in such a small amount of time is a struggle like I can't even begin to understand. I'm just not going to pick up wood. Climbing the mountains is the important destination, right? And the end justifies the means. I'm doing this for you, Dreamlogician. I'm gonna dream on. I'm gonna believe. Anything from him, by the way?
No.
No.
Stephen Miller wants us to play Switchboard Heights.
Yep, we'll do that.
Which says 20 minutes at max.
I'll make Patrick play it.
I'll play it.
Oh, neat.
Oh, it's sparking without.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Alright. We picked up 1 wood. And we're gonna shimmy up the mountain. Shimmy, 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 shimmy.
You're missing the mood of this game.
I know. Shimmy, 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 shimmy. Oh. I can do it. Do 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 do.
I don't think you need more wood. You just need to try it a couple times.
Jamie commented, in the story, Moneta lit a signal fire every night in the hopes that it would guide her sons back home. So that's why she's...
Oh, there we go. My people need me. I will not abandon them. And that's when she returned to her home planet. Yes, I'm going to keep using that dank meme that nobody wants to remember anymore. Because I am Taro. I don't need to have a reason. I'm probably going to try this for 2 or 3 more cycles and then call it a day. But I do like this portion, actually, about where you just struggle going up the mountain. That I feel what is like the more meaningful part of the game. It's also something that, like, on paper I'm not a fan of either, but that's besides the point. Oh, it seems to get harder and harder to actually light the fire as you go along. Interesting. I will do what I can. I pray it is enough. It doesn't quite translate well that those are tiers / quartz. Because, like, you know, this gigantic thing comes out of her face, and it's like, oh my god, a ghost! Personally, I would have liked to hear some winds, but I guess the silence is supposed to mean something. I don't know. I don't have a particular good idea on that, but like whenever I think about climbing mountains, I always think about the really strong winds that blows when it comes to the sound audioscape. And I don't know, I'm a fan of that. Just kind of like the huge risk that's happening. I offer my small light as a gift. With each passing moon, I bundle all my hopes together and rekindle them, that they may rise as smoke. Some of these quartz just refuse to remain in existence, which was always a good sign. I'm gonna blame on Bright Star for that. Oh hey, I started at a random location. Shiny. It's actually, like, the higher you go, the harder it is to tell what is what and what isn't. Or maybe it's just the fact that all the quartz make it even harder to see. I don't know if that's intentional or not. It's Dreamlogician after all.
Technically, they're not supposed to be quartz. When I remember the story, it's the ending. Is kind I don't know if Jamie wants to talk about the ending.
There's an ending?
There's an ending to to the story, not to the game. But the tears turn into quartz.
My love, I summon you. And that was the last day we ever heard of her. Alright, anyways, I think we got the good idea of this. Cool. Comments. Cool. No, there's gotta be more to that.
Do you want to get Jamie's comments after?
Yeah, that's a good point.
So Jamie, do you have any comments?
Patrick,
Yes.
Switchboard Heights.
Oh, yes.